Okay, welcome back to Smith Farm Shenanigans. This is Wayne again, coming to you with another heat pump video. This is going to be our last video of the series on the components of a heat pump, how they work, how they film, how to fix them. It's going to be the last video on heat pumps, period, probably, unless something comes up someone needs help with or something like that. So I want to start doing something else, and if you guys have any idea, what you'd like to see, whether it be, taking something else apart, discussing how it works, what it is, things like that, give me a shout out and I'll see if I know, how to do it. If not, I want to move on to something else, and we'll see if we can get some more videos for you, some DIY stuff, maybe some science experiments, all kinds of different things. But anyway, today we're talking about a little part down inside here, where the fan blower is. If your heat pump's not running, you're having no air at all, this unit here, this part inside the house isn't running, the part outside isn't running, and there's no numbers on your thermostat, well, there's a cause for that. And it's more than likely a little small critical part in here. And it's such a small part, but it plays a significant role in keeping your heat pump functioning properly. So before you go and throw money, big money, for other components, make sure you watch this video in its entirety to get the idea of what's going on this cheap part that you can fix yourself in just a few hours, probably less than 2 hours, and have it back up and running. So I'm going to show you everything about it. Stay tuned. I'm going to turn you around. We're going to get started, okay? Okay, so as I said, the component I'm talking about is inside this unit here. It's going to always be inside here. It's always going to be down low, probably in this box here. Sometimes it's on this wall over here. Sometimes it's on the wall inside there. But it's not real hard to get to, but it kind of is. If you don't know what I'm talking about yet, it's the transformer. So these machines, they have a transformer that sends voltage to all the systems to have it to work. And if this little guy fails, your whole system is dead in the water. But there's good news. It's one of the easiest and cheapest fixes if you know what you're doing and know what you're looking for. And that's what this video is about. So in this video, I want to show you exactly what the transformer is, how it works, why it fails, how to test and replace it if the transformer is bad, how to do it the right way. So stick around. So you may be asking yourself, what is a transformer? What does it do? Well, if you know anything about transformers, you probably know what it's for. But for those of you who don't have electrical background, a transformer simply takes a higher voltage and it transforms it down into a voltage that you can work with, or it does the vice versa. There's a step-up transformer and a step-down transformer. Well, the transformer inside this heat pump here is considered a step-down transformer. What that simply means is it takes a voltage, usually 120 volts or 240 volts, and it steps it down, boom, 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 until it gets to a 24 volts that your system can use. And why it does that, there's several reasons. One of the main reasons is the components. Remember, we talked about the defroster board outside in the system outside there. The defroster board runs on 24 volts. Any more than that, that board will fry. It cannot handle 124 volts. It definitely can't handle 240 volts. Also, your thermostat, where you go and push your buttons and set your temperature and all that, it also runs on low voltage. It cannot run on 120 volts. Both of those components right there would burn out in no time if you didn't have this thing, okay? So that's what this thing does, and that's how it does it safely, so you don't ever have to worry about it. It's always on. It's always got that voltage ready, and that's why your thermostat is always on, because that little transformer is always on. So they do burn out sometimes, like any transformer, okay? And so to give you more information, think of your phone charger. You plug your phone into your charger, but if you think about it, you cannot plug your phone directly into the wall. Why? You probably already know why. It would burn your phone up, right? It's too much voltage. So that little charger for your phone, it does the same thing. It steps the voltage down and it changes it into a voltage that this phone or your phone can use, right? Well, that transformer in this system right here works exactly like that. So if your transformer isn't working, your heat pump spring, which is the defrost board, the control board we call it, has no power, meaning that your system will not respond to any type of thermostat controls. Now, if you have a modern thermostat, it's going to have digital readouts, and if it doesn't have battery backup, then you won't see any numbers on your thermostat. So if you have one of those thermostats, you don't see any numbers on it, that simply means your thermostat's not getting power, or it's not putting out power. Most modern thermostats do have batteries in them, and they will continue to run the thermostat digital readout sometimes for a while just on the batteries alone. But your heat pump still will not run because the thermostat's not sending power outside to the outdoor unit, the brain, the control board. So now let's get to the meat of it. How do you know if your thermostat is bad? Well, I'm going to give you the biggest warning signs, okay? So here we go. Number one, there is no power to your thermostat. So like I told you a minute ago, you won't see any numbers on the older digital readouts of thermostats, but the newer digital ones do have batteries. So what you'd have to do is take the cover off, and I've got a video on my very first heat pump where I took the cover off the thermostat and I showed you the wiring, right? And you can check power right there. You can check the power, see if there is 24 volts getting to your thermostat, your indoor thermostat, okay? And remember, if your thermostat has batteries, you still want to check voltage first before you waste batteries and replace the batteries. Check the voltage, make sure it's getting 24 volts, because a lot of people will think, oh, my thermostat's not on, my batteries are dead in it. So they would put the batteries in, and the thermostat's still not on, and then you wasted batteries. So you wasted time. So just check the voltage first if your thermostat goes dead. If you know for a fact it's batteries, it's been a long time since you replaced them, then you could check it, you could replace the batteries. Step number 2, your outdoor heat pump, that's the one outside, not this in here, but the outdoor unit that you see me stand by many times, that unit is not turning on. That's how you know. That's the next warning sign. It won't turn on. If the outdoor unit and the indoor unit, if these both blower motors we talked about in the other video, if those two fans are not coming on, there's a good chance that your transformer isn't sending power, right? Something's going wrong. If one of these is coming on and the other it isn't coming on, that's probably not the transformer. But if these both, this one here and the one outside, is not working, you probably have a dead transformer, or you're not getting power to your transformer. Also, when you get to the thermostat, and I'm going to kind of show you where it is here in a minute, but when you get to it, you'll be able to visibly see if the thermostat or the transformer has burned. It'll have burn marks and a significant char, and you'll know by just looking at it. And then there's a third way, which is very obvious. You come into wherever this air handler in unit is. Ours is here, what we call our mud room, our wash room. And when we walk in here, if I smell a burning smell, and if you've ever smelled electrical burn smell, then it's totally different than other smells, right? It's different than paper burning or anything like that. It smells totally different. If you smell that kind of smell, then that's a good indicator, because the thing that happens the most is that thermostat or that transformer in here burns, and you'll smell that, okay? And then the fourth major warning sign is that you have a blown low voltage fuse on the control board. Now, some control boards I've seen does not have fuses, some of them do. If you have a fuse on your control board, okay, check that fuse the first thing. That could be only issue. However, I would tell you that if your fuse is blown, don't just replace it and go on with your life. It blew for a reason. Fuses last forever unless something triggers them to blow. So you had a power surge, you had something go wrong, a short circuit, something went wrong to cause that fuse to blow, and I would evaluate my system, my control board, my wiring, and all these things. I would evaluate that to make sure something else hasn't went wrong, because you can save yourself a lot of money before putting that fuse back in and burning something else out as well. You may just have one thing, that's burnt out, and that caused the fuse to pop. You can replace that and go on. It could be this transformer. However, you put another fuse in it, you may burn something else out. So check that fuse. If it is blown, then you know there's something going on, and it probably is this transformer. Now, before we continue on with the fixes, I wanted to show you on my heat pump. Okay, you see my wires there? These are the thermostat wires right here, okay? What you want to do, if you need to find your thermostat, your transformer, you find those wires, and then you follow those wires and what they're connected to. So if I look here, mine's connected to those wires there, you see them? And they go right down into there. See that little hole right there? Well, that's where my transformer would be. I'd have to access this panel right here. Well, my unit would be kind of difficult because I'm going to have to pull my motor out, which ain't too bad. It's just 4 screws, and pull it out and then get in there and look at my transformer. It's down in there. So I can't get to mine any other way. Now some of them, like I said, are over here on the wall, on one of the walls, and you can get to it easier. Well, unfortunately, mine isn't one of those. So if mine goes out, I'm gonna have to dig it out. But anyway, if you'll follow those thermostat wires back to the source, not where it's coming through the floor. See this wire here? That's my thermostat wire. It goes down through the floor and back out to my heat pump and back into my thermostat. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about where you see it, these wire nuts, go back to the bigger wire it's connected to and follow it down. And it goes into, like I said, it goes right into there where that hole is right there. Right there. Okay, that's where it is on mine. And so before we go any farther, I want to show you that. So we figured out that it's probably a transformer. Now what do we do? Well, you know, like I tell you every time in every video, we don't want to throw parts at this thing. We want to diagnose it now and test it to make sure that is the problem, right? We don't want to spend thousands of dollars, hundreds of dollars. That transformer is actually pretty cheap. You can buy them all day. Remember, like I tell you every video, buy from an online store if you can. I know a lot of people will get mad at me. I believe in supporting your local mom and pop shops. I really do. But I don't believe in people getting ripped off for stuff either. So, you know, if he's HVAC techs and these companies going to get mad at me for telling you guys these things, and that's okay. I'll take the heat for you. But the truth of the matter is, if they would just be reasonable with their prices, more people would buy products from them rather than go looking elsewhere. There's a reason Amazon sells them. There's a reason they're on eBay. There's a reason they're on all these other shops on the internet, because there's a call for it. People are looking for, you know, a $50 transformer that you can put in this rather than calling an HVAC guy out and him charging $400 and $500 to put that same part on. So that's why we do this, is to help the consumer, the homeowner. And if the guys get mad at me, then that's okay. People have been mad at me before. It won't be the first time. So the first thing we're going to do, step one, we're going to check the incoming voltage. Now that's pretty simple. See these wires right here? We can test to see if there's any voltage going to that transformer, right? There's big wires back here that has the power way back in there. Let me see if I can show you. Get a little closer. See the orange wires back in here? The big wires right there, that plug. You can pull that plug and see if there's a red, orange, and all that. You can check your voltage right there. They should be voltage going down into that transformer. And if there is, then there's no voltage coming out of the transformer. What does that tell you? That should tell you everything you need to know, right? It's likely bad. If voltage is coming in, none's going out, it's bad, all right? Now, step number 2. Well, we're going to do the opposite of what we just did. We're going to check the outgoing voltage. We know we got voltage coming into the transformer now. We should have 24 volts coming out of it. So unfortunately, you're going to have to get to the transformer to check the small wires, but you can check them right here, to be honest with you, if you know what you're looking for, and you can know what you're looking for. And how to do that is go outside on that panel we took off my other videos on the outdoor unit. Remember, there's a schematic on that outdoor panel that tells you every routing wire that's in this heat pump system, and so you're going to know which wires in here should have 24 volts. You can test it right there without pulling the transformer out. However, if you can't read, that's why I was initially telling you, if you don't know how to read a schematic, you can take the transformer out and you can see which wires are coming from the transformer, and then you can test the 24 volts there, right? And obviously, if there's no voltage coming out of the transformer, there's voltage coming in. Like I said a minute ago, the transformer is more than likely bad. So, step number 3 is to inspect the wiring for shorts. Sometimes the issue is not the transformer itself at all. Sometimes it's just a shorted wire or a bad connection. So going through your wiring and making sure the wires are good and are connected properly would help you from having to replace a transformer. Now you may be asking, well, where do I start? So what you can do is go get that panel off the outdoor unit like we discussed before, read that schematic, and find a set of wires, say, brown and black or whatever, and you would make sure those are tied together on one end of the circuit. This just applies to the transformer, so any wires connected to the transformer, go to the other end of those wires, maybe outside or into the thermostat, tie those two wires together with a wire nut, come back to the transformer and check for continuity, and you just turn your meter to the little section where it makes a beeping sound when there's continuity, like I showed you in other videos. And just do that for each circuit that is connected to the transformer, and you should be able to tell if you have bad wires. So you may be asking, okay, what's the next steps? Well, that's it. There's only 2 steps to diagnosing a bad transformer, and that's checking the incoming voltage and checking the outgoing voltage. It's not like the other parts where we had 4 and 5 things we had to check first. That's why I told you at the beginning, this is a great one for you to watch all the way through. It's an easy one you can do and save yourself literally hundreds of dollars. And so you can check it yourself. It's very easy. So what is the last step? Well, the last step is simply replacing the transformer. That's it. You found out it's bad by doing the voltage checks on the first two that we did steps. You found out it's bad. How you do it? Get online. The transformer's going to have serial numbers on it. You're going to have voltage coming out, voltage coming in. You'll be able to see it. It'll tell you what you need, what port number it is, and you can even go down here and look down here at your model number. See that model number right there? You can get your model number. Then you can still find it that way without even taking the transformer out. So that's how you find out what you want. Get online, find it. If you call your local guy and he has it reasonably priced, here's my deal. If I can buy it on Amazon for say $50, I call my local heating and cooling guy and he says, yeah, we got it for $69. I'm gonna buy it from the local heating guy. So you can check that. If they got it reasonably priced, buy it from them. I have no problem with that. However, I have a problem when they charge 4 times what you can buy anywhere else. So do that, buy it, take it out, replace it, and guess what? You're back in business. Thumbs up, right? Easy job. It's just gotta get to it, take everything out. So there you have it. That's how you diagnose, fix a bad transformer in your heat pump system. Now, as I said at the beginning of this video, it's probably going to be my last one on heat pumps. That does not mean, though, I'm not going to watch the comments. For as long as I have this channel, and as long as I'm able, Lord willing, I'll be able to get on there and I will read your comments and I'll still respond to them. If it's 5 years from now and you see this video for the first time, you ask me something, I'll try my best to answer that question for you. So going forward, my channel's still going to be active. I'm going to be doing other things. I hope you'll stick around for those things. Some of it's going to be DIY stuff. I like to do pranks. I like to do all kinds of things to entertain people and to help people, make them smile, save them money, whatever it takes, So I pray that God bless you. And if you like this video and you got anything from it, please like it, subscribe if you would. It don't hurt to subscribe. And if you don't like the channel in a week, unsubscribe. That's okay. If you feel like I've earned your subscription, and if not, that's okay too. I'm not begging for you for your subscription. It does help grow the channel, so do comments, so do likes. If you don't do any of those things, you still can watch this video and get all the information you need, and that won't hurt my feelings one bit. God bless you. Have a good one, and we will see you on the next one.